After these 7 things, I saw 4 angels standing at the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of the earth. See, that's what I said. Like when you meditate, we can hold the 4 winds. One time, I'm gonna tell y'all something. One time I'm meditating and I was holding the wind back. I thought it was like a door shutting. That's what it feel. I swear. I know my father said. My father said, leave that gate open. My father said, leave that gate open. And I couldn't. By meditation, I was meditating, but I couldn't shut that gate. The wind was blowing just hard. The Anubis was in and out of something. The Anubis was in and out. And it's like, I'm starting to get this thing a little bit, because God was like, you're going to be in charge of the, I can't say that on here. Things starting to make sense. Gatekeeper. That's what that gatekeeper stuff really mean, ain't it? That's what it really mean, ain't it? Uh-oh, that boy elevated real hard, didn't it? Elevated harder. Harder. I can't believe y'all trying to mimic me, bro. That was just an L12, bro. I wouldn't even, I've been supportive, bro. I've been like, well, it's a time to be lame, and it's a time to be lame, but it's a time to be real. I guess you could say it like that. I try my best not to be lame. I ain't never cared nothing for being lame or nobody that. I ain't never dealt with people who've been lame. The problem is people don't want to admit to being lame. But anyway. Then I saw another angel ascending from the east, having the seal of the living God, and he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels, to whom it was granted to harm the earth and the sea, saying, do not harm this earth, the sea, and the trees, till we have sealed the servant of God on their forehead, y'all. And I heard the numbers of those who were sealed, 144,000 of all the tribes, children of Israel, were sealed. And it said that the tribe of Judah, 12,000 were sealed. Reuben, 12,000 were sealed. Gad, 12,000 were sealed. Asher, 12,000 were sealed. Naphtali, 12,000 were sealed. Manasseh, 12,000 were sealed. Simeon, 12,000 were sealed. Levi, Issachar, 12,000 were sealed. Zebulun, 12,000 were sealed. Joseph, 12,000 were sealed. Benjamin, 12,000 were sealed. See, they can be scattered out throughout the world. See, when we listen to them, we be like, they all from Africa, yeah. But they scattered out throughout the world. Now, they probably we all from Africa. They all from Africa. But they scattered out in the world now. The Bible is fulfilling, yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. We living in Revelation. Yeah, 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 yeah. Now, the tribes of the people and tongues standing before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes, with palm branches in their hands, and crying out with a loud voice, saying, salvation belongs to our God, who sits on the throne, and the Lamb. All the angels stood around the throne, and the elders, and the 4 living creatures, and fell on their faces before the throne, and worshiped God, saying, Amen. Blessing and glory and wisdom, thanksgiving and honor and power and might be to our God forever and ever. Amen. I'm going to go back up here. Then one of the elders answered, saying to me, who are these arrayed in white robes, and where did they come from? And I said to him, sir, you know? So he said to me, these are the ones who come out of great tribulations, wash their robes and wash their robes and made them white in the blood of the Lamb. Therefore, they are before the throne of God and serve him day and night in his temple, and he who sits on the throne will dwell among them. They shall neither hunger anymore nor thirst anymore. That explains a lot, don't it? That's why I ain't gotta eat no more. The sun shall not strike them, nor any heat, for the Lamb who is in the midst of the throne will shepherd them. This is deep. And lead them to living fountains of water, and God will wipe away every tear. Whoa, 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 whoa. I feel like I know where that fountain of water is. I'm just joking. God will wipe away every tear from their eye. Now let me tell y'all something. Now let's go back. Let's see what's going on right here. It said, they were clothed with white robes, branches of their hands, crying out a loud voice, blown, sits on the throne. All right, it said right here. These are the tribes, these are the ones who come in great tribulation and washed their robes and made them white in the blood of the Lamb. All right, that great tribulation is what we're going through right now, ladies and gentlemen. You're going through all that. That's why I told y'all to quit worrying about money and who got their sets. Love over here, up love. Give it to me, baby. All that, let that go. I'll tell you, because you gotta be. You are in initiation. You are on. You've what they call that when you get a job, and they want to see how good you work before they actually hire you. That's your entry exam, I guess you could call it. You ain't got no business to worry about what y'all made this out of a sex thing. And that was just a lie. I feel it probably was. It probably was. I can't tell. God ain't telling me what's going on with that yet, because it ain't meant to be told yet. But I'm like, man, I can only speak for myself. My brother Jesus told me to do this way, and I'm gonna do it that way. Because if we filling out for a job for God, I don't see why that kind of stuff would even be involved in it, unless it's some kind of auction off vessel thing. And then that's why I said I'm gonna just stay out of it. But anyway, that's what it is. Y'all avoiding the tribulations. You avoiding it when you keep chasing after this woman or this man. You avoiding it when you keep chasing after money. You avoiding it when you going after the drugs. You avoiding it when you keep partying like a rock star. You avoiding it when you sign up for eventually you're gonna keep avoiding it, and then the dark side gonna hire you. And then you're gonna be over there on the dark side looking at the light side. Is they still doing good? And in your mind, you saying, you thinking it's a joke. Yeah, this because of course the enemy gonna reconstruction that whole floor plan. This is what we got them. We got them in the bottle. We got them in the bottle. And they really just this and that, sacrificial lambs and this and that. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna cipher the energies. And they lost souls. They this and that. Blah 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 blah. etc. Blah 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 blah. A whole bunch of garbage. I like God way better because that way too confusing. So they just looking on the outside looking in basically. But they really forfeit in actuality, them people forfeit their chance to right to be a chosen one. And now they gotta work for the night. You gotta work for the dark. You had your chance to work for the light, you gotta work for the dark. You couldn't stay off the horse. You couldn't stay off the horse. You couldn't get your life right. You couldn't be honest. You couldn't stop being lukewarm. You couldn't stop breaking the 10 Commandments. It was too traditional. Give it to me, baby. That's true tradition. That's traditional. That shit, I'm telling you, I was born right in the street. You party like a rock star. You going to the club tonight, honey? Yeah, I'm gonna be there. What you gonna wear tonight? That's the only difference in y'all conversation. Is whatever clothes y'all gonna wear to the club on the weekend. Otherwise, I know. I'm born in the street. I worked in the clubs, you might well say. I know. Every weekend. indirect voice every weekend. Every weekend. Calling each other on Thursday. What you going out to the club though? Monday, it's a real conversation. You talking about your boss. You about to lose your job. Some of y'all did lose your job. And you talking bad about the reason why I quit, honey. Reason why I tell you why I quit. And the reason I tell you why you really quit. Because you went out on the weekend and you couldn't recover fast enough. And so when you had to go to work on Monday, you was so tired, out of your mind, disgustingly tired. And you just couldn't take it no more. And everybody, you felt like you were calling your friend while you was at work. And you want to talk about what happened that weekend because you did a whole bunch of ungodly stuff that weekend. And you don't want to be at work mentally, physically, emotionally. None of the leads, not even the Bruce Lee. You don't want to go to work at all. You want to work. You want to talk to your friends who you did all that devilment with Monday through Tuesday. Clear the way with that. Then you feel better and feel great and good to go to work on Wednesday. I know. You talking about a kid that used to go get. You talking to a kid. The only time I could get dinner was at the clubs when the clubs were about to close, and I had to go to school. I had to go to school. Clubs start back opening up like on Thursday and Friday, getting ready for the weekend. No, I'm saying that wrong. I didn't have to go to school. I just didn't have nowhere to stay. No, I ain't had nowhere to stay. Yeah, I had somewhere to stay, but I ain't had no food. Hungry. So at the clubs, Saturday nights, Friday nights, I would go there and they would give me French fries and okra. Salted French fries and okra. Oh, I love it. So good. Mrs. May Francis. She give me that food. Oh, I love it. She said, here you go, son. You know you ain't supposed to be in here, don't you? I was a little kid, bro. I was so hungry. I grew up in the streets. I grew up in them clubs. Little kid going in there, going through all the, everybody, what up, little man? Leave him alone, that little man right there. I go up in there, can I please get something to eat? Miss May Francis, I'm hungry. And she'll give me some French fries and some okra. And I go home and sleep like a baby. These ain't lies. These ain't jokes. Now, like my man Earthquake say, these ain't jokes, dude. You know? Lived in it, born in it. I know, bro. Y'all wasting y'all time to tell you it's the same thing. Think about it. Just think about some of y'all is so stuck in the illusion. You don't even realize you're stuck in the cycle because it's so fun to gather around and to get with your social gathering when you're going on the weekend. But the problem is why the social gathering always got to be at a negative place. Give it to me, baby. Because they ain't really your friend in the first place. They programs. You want to get a good social gathering in a good positive place. But you can elevate them. I done elevated people. I done elevated groups out of them situations. We still go and enjoy them, but it ain't every weekend. It ain't that cycle measure. And then the worst difference in the whole situation is you're gonna have a different man and a different woman. That's the worst difference. And then that ain't even including the bathroom. That ain't even including the bathroom tours. That ain't even including the bathroom tours. Oh, he's saying something now, ain't he? I'm telling you, bro. I know. I was raised in them. That's all y'all doing. Y'all ain't doing nothing. Then you talk about people like me that's trying to stand up straight. You disrespect people like me. You sit there and crack jokes. Then you swapping my energy with somebody who don't deserve the energy. And the more you keep giving her my energy, you turning her into an enemy to my ancestor. And they just are decomposing you. And you can look and tell that they decomposing. But you keep giving this lady my energy. Just killing her slowly. Including yourself. Give it to me, baby. I told y'all my ancestors don't play. Route 666, I told y'all. I begged y'all, I said, my ancestors kill folk. Give it to me, baby. I love my ancestors. I love God. Like you love a gun, I love God. Like you love them Jordans on your feet, I love God. Like you love them cars, I love God. Like you love that house, I love God. Like you love them different sex partners. That's how I love God. Give it to me, baby. Indirect voice. It ain't but one of me. It ain't gonna ever be but one of me. I can understand you. I'm setting the trend, and you copying the trend as a friend, and you know what I'm saying, making the trend popular, so we can put positivity in the world. But to emulate me, to sacrifice me, cipher me, and kill me, and act like you are me, it don't get no lamer than that. It don't get no lamer than that. How lame are you trying to be? I was just listening to somebody's story, man. Her story, she said her 20 hours ago. I put mine on YouTube 6 hours ago. Me and her story went neck to neck when I told that story about a group of people trying to sacrifice me. Y'all go check it out, see if y'all figure it out. She a tarot reader. They line up perfectly. Not saying we copy one another, just saying that's the energy. See what I'm saying? That's how it really works. You tapped into my energy, not no mother energy. Unless it was another mother energy going through the same thing as my energy. And normally when it comes to the 144,000 chosen one energy, normally their energy outmuch the same energy. Yeah, they going through the same struggle. Now we go back to this right here. It said, right here. Yeah, right here it said, so he said to me, these are the ones who come out of the great tribulations and washed their robes and made them white in the blood of the Lamb. You washed your robe. We washed ourselves of sin. We washed ourselves from sleeping with people, telling lies, gossip, breaking the 10 Commandments, doing things against God's will. We washed ourselves in the blood of the Lamb. Now we are pure at heart. We are pure at spirit. We are completely body trinity. And you can't lie. We ain't out here sneaking and geeking. We ain't out here sneaking and cheating. We ain't out here doing none of that. You can put that on us. You can project that on us. But that's the problem with projection. Sometimes you do that stuff so much you start to believe it yourself. But you know the truth because you're the one doing the projecting. So quit telling lies to yourself.